Hi, I'm Allanah. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I will be sharing 5 limiting beliefs that are holding you back. You're in control, Allanah. You're in control, Allanah. I am pure light. The first one is, I am not worthy of love. A lot of people come to believe that they're not worthy of love and that you need to accomplish something or achieve something before you will be worthy of love. Whether it's because of something you've been through or something that someone said to you, it's easy to feel like you are not worthy of love. You feel like you need to do something or achieve something before you will be worthy of love. But you don't need to do anything to be worthy of love, because actually we are all made in God's image. As one of God's children, you are inherently worthy of love. We are all God's children, and therefore we are inherently worthy of love, just as we are. Even your broken, sinful, stressed out, worst version of yourself is still worthy of love. You don't need to do anything. You are already worthy of love, exactly as you are. I often hear people talk about how, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I should be doing. But actually, you're not here to be doing, you're here to be being. I am not worthy of love is the first one. Second one is, I don't have enough time. But actually, you can speed up and slow down time with your breath. So, time is not the problem. It's possible to manage your time in a way where you can make time for everything. I remember for several years I was best friends with a doctor. And I was still pretty crazy back then, but he and I would text all day and all night. And I remember thinking, this guy's a doctor. So if he has time for me, then there's no such thing as being too busy, right? You make time for the things that are important to you. You prioritize what's important to you. So there's no such thing as being too busy or not having enough time. The third one is, I am too fat. And this one is so common around girls, it's basically normal to believe that you're too fat. And I know that in my personal experience, models are the most insecure people I've ever met. And if you look up eating disorder recovery on the internet, you see all of these beautiful girls suffering and struggling, and they're all so thin and perfect, and the only problem is that they can't see it. And even if you're not thin, is fat the worst thing you could be? I recently wrote a paper on fat phobia, which is the discrimination that fat people face on a daily basis. And that was really illuminating. It really helped me understand the real discrimination that fat people have to live with. I know that for basically my whole life, I struggled with my body. I starved myself for many years. And I'm straight sized. I was a model. Yeah, but I still thought that my legs were too fat or whatever when I was at my thinnest. So, if you think you are too fat, it's possible that this is a distortion of reality. Let me tell you, if you hold this belief about yourself, 2 things to consider. The first thing is, are you sure that you're not just delusional and viewing a distorted image of yourself? Are you really fat? And the second thing I want you to ask yourself is fat the worst thing I could be? Is fat the worst thing you could be? You could be a bitch. Wouldn't that be worse? And also, I think that when you are old and you are looking back at photos of yourself when you were young, you will see those photos and you will say, oh my gosh, I was so beautiful. Why didn't I appreciate my body back then? So just keep that in mind. And the 5th common limiting belief is that life needs to be hard. This, in my opinion, is the most destructive limiting belief, because if you believe that life needs to be hard, then you will create unnecessary suffering for yourself. And comes in many forms. For me, it was I felt like I needed to starve to be worthy of love. And so I would starve for days. I would starve myself at a time. For a long time, I only had 2 bubble teas or 2 iced coffees. That's all I would eat for the whole day, because I thought that life needed to be hard. But actually, life doesn't need to be hard. Life doesn't need to be a struggle. I think that people get into this belief by often by the parents that they were raised with, or some kind of trauma wherein they learn that suffering is so fundamental to life that it's necessary. And so many people suffer so deeply unnecessarily because of this limiting belief that life needs to be hard. But actually, life doesn't need to be hard. Life can just flow. Life can be easy. So ask yourself, where am I limiting myself because of one of these 5 beliefs? And say, do I really need to hold on to this, or can I let this belief go? 5 or 6? It's 6th one. The last one is, I am broken. So whether it's because of something that's happened to you, something that's happened to your body maybe, or some kind of traumatic experience, It's easy to feel like I am broken, but actually there is nothing you can do to break yourself. There is nothing you can do to ruin yourself, because we are all made in God's image, and therefore we are perfect exactly as we are. You will always remain perfect in God's image. I recently read this book called The Pulling by Adele Dumont, and it's about her trichotillomania. So trichotillomania is a disorder wherein you are addicted to pulling out your hair. And so she is just like addicted, like hopelessly addicted to pulling out her hair. And her husband in it, like he has to do so much to just keep her like okay. Like he has to do so much for her just because of her trichotillomania. And it's a really sad story, but it's also a love story, because like it made me realize that some people never heal their trauma. Like if people are not forced into a position where they have to heal their trauma, like I was, a lot of people live their whole lives without healing their trauma, and they still find people to love them. So that's what I noticed from this book, was her husband's love for her and like how doting he was, even though she was so deeply flawed. So if you hold the limiting belief that I am broken and you think that means that you are unlovable, just know that you cannot break yourself. You cannot ruin yourself. No matter what you do, no matter what happens to you, you can't be broken, because you were made in God's image. And even if you feel like you are broken, broken people find love all the time. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful. You're beautiful. You're perfect. I love you. God bless you. If you're new, like and subscribe to my channel. I am pure light. I am a mountain.